Welcome back to On the Sofa with Nick, the show where I interview business owners and entrepreneurs about their life and business. Today I'm joined on the sofa by Sophie Bower from Millie and Me, who also gets involved or runs Torbay Hour, Brixfest, a social media conference and loads of other exciting stuff going on. So let's have a chat with Sophie Bower. Welcome to the show, Sophie.
Thank you for having me, Lord.
That's all right. Thank you for joining me. So Sophie's a busy bee. She runs a cafe called Millie and Me. She's on the team of Torbay Hour, runs Torbay Hour, runs conferences, social media conferences, loads going on. But we'll just go back a bit. Why did you decide to base yourself in Brixham, open a cafe, which I think I'm right in saying then started off all this other stuff, getting involved in Torbay Hour and social media conferences and Brixfest and all this stuff.
Yeah, it mushroomed really. I'd been coming up here since I was 15, met my husband, got married, but I worked in health and social care. That was my background.
Oh, okay.
But we were really heavily involved with the Brixham Youth Inquiry Service. We were both trustees, and this is going back about 5 years ago now. They had an initiative called Nesta, Neighbourhood Challenge it was called, and it was encouraging people to set up small businesses. They would give them business advice and support and kind of get them off the ground, and it was a challenge. So at the end of the year you proved how successful your business was, and there was actually money prizes.
Hey.
And at that time we were putting on events for fundraising, different things, and as a family, Harry would do the sound and lighting and compare it. Millie and my husband would run the kitchen and get the food out, and she's a brilliant cook, and I do the bar and all the organisation. And so we decided that we would set up a business offering catering and functions.
Cool.
So that was what we did, and we called it Millie and Me, and it was really successful. But as a part of that, we had business training from Outset Torbay. So the lovely Liz, who now works for Shop Up the High Street, she gave me some brilliant training about putting together a business plan, profit and loss forecasting, all sorts
Brilliant.
of things.
Yeah.
And literally we were driving past King Street one day, and we saw this empty shop, and it was literally that spur of the moment. We could open a coffee shop.
I'm taking that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
We could do that.
And Outset continued to support us, and I gave notice, and yeah, we opened Millie and Me 4 years ago, just gone in March.
You're the me from
I am
Millie
me.
and
Oh.
That's your line, isn't it?
Do you know what?
I am the me from Millie and Me.
There are people that have known me for 20 years as Sophie, and now they call me Millie. And that I actually can forgive people that have only just met me.
They call you Millie?
Yeah, I can forgive people that have only just met me because it's that word association thing.
Yeah.
But when it's people that have known me for like 20 years and then they go, "Oh, hi Millie," I'm like, no, Sophie.
Oh,
Sophie.
That's a really good name though. I like it, Millie and Me.
Yeah, so it took Millie a bit of convincing because at that age, you know, she was a lot younger then, and to having her name above the door and everything was quite a big thing. But yeah, she loves it now.
Cool. So that evolved. You got quite well known within the Brixham community. Got really involved in Twitter, and now you are joint owner of Torbay Hour. Is that how it's structured?
Yeah, me and James. Yeah, equal partners.
So explain to anybody who's not watching what Torbay Hour is.
So Torbay
Hour.
Watching,
they're all watching. Explain to anybody who doesn't know what Torbay Hour is.
And if you've already heard me explain this, then just forgive me because you'll be going to go. Torbay Hour is a dedicated Twitter hour. These happen all over the country. You can get Devon Hour, England Hour, Wedding Hour, and really all it is an hour of online networking, where anybody with a Twitter account, they talk to each other, but for that hour, they use the hashtag Torbay Hour somewhere in their tweet. And so what we do is, instead of following our stream, we use the search bar and we follow the hashtag Torbay Hour, and it really just collects all of those tweets together. So it is just like having one big online conversation.
Yeah.
Is that?
I think it's been invaluable for loads of local businesses to get them to encourage them to use Twitter more. We're just having a conversation offline that sometimes, you know, certainly when you're starting out, you start tweeting and nobody really responds. You feel like you can get demoralised. So having somewhere to go and have a relevant conversation with, even if it's just once a week, but I know you do it through the week as well, it's really helpful for people when they're getting started.
Yeah, I think so. And I've said right from the beginning, I think the value of Torbay Hour is that we are a very small area, you know, small local authority, whatever you call it, and a small business community. So when you get the really huge counties that have got hours or big areas, you're networking, but you're never really going to physically come into contact with somebody 200 miles away or do business with them. Whereas in Torbay, it's very different to that because, you've only got to go to a networking event in Torquay and you bump into half the people that you talk to on Torbay Hour.
Talk to me face to.
Yeah.
That's why the original idea of Tweet Ups was to meet these people these faceless people on Twitter that you've conversed with and have a pint with them or have a cup of coffee with them and chat with them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think it's all too easy to criticise a lot of people that don't understand social media and judge us. But a lot of people, they say, oh, it's so antisocial. If you're a small business owner and you are working 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, sometimes 7 days a week, and you're in your shop, the only people you're going to come into contact with is customers. You can't go to training, you can't go to networking events, you can't go to things because you can't afford to because you've got to run your business. And you can become really isolated and not have any business networking at all. And I think what something like Torbay Hour does or any Twitter hour like that does is it builds relationships with other business people.
And that's kind of the key, isn't it? It's building relationships. And like you said, because we're such a close-knit sort of town or such a small area, you do get real relationships, not that occasional tweet. You actually get to meet these person face to face and things develop. I think that's kind of, you opened a cafe one day, never really intended to run Torbay Hour. Now you run Torbay Hour. Actually run Torbay, not just get involved in it. Run it with James now. And obviously Martin has just opted out, but he was involved from the beginning. And then those relationships have developed into other projects. Yeah. You've gone on to run a social media conference.
Torbay Social Media Cafe came to Brixham.
I'm thinking about redoing it.
I know.
We quite like that because that was that community thing. It was getting to meet those people and just chat with them. There's no business.
We hosted that several times in Brixham, so just make sure put Brixham, Millie and Me.
Millie and Me, Brixham.
But that was really good. That was, in its time, that was really good. And then the tweet ups are brilliant. We got involved in a networking evening at White Rock School back in February.
I saw it going on Twitter. I saw everything.
That was fab. Over 50 local business people from across Torbay. Tim Godfrey came and did from the Torbay Business Forum and did the keynote speech. And it was absolutely fantastic. And everybody, normally we expect after the hour, so it's like 8 to 9 and then people start drifting off. Come 9 o'clock, everyone's gone. We were literally having to kick people out at 10 o'clock at night. The school hall because everyone was just chatting. And,
brilliant. That's good. Bringing community together. So let's talk about the social media conference that's then come off the back of Torbay Hour. How does that all work? Explain to people how that works, what the value's in it for people and kind of why you did it, really. Okay,
well, James and I are really clear with Torbay Hour that there are really two elements to it. We do the Twitter hour on a Monday and we operate the account all week and our remit really is to support local businesses, especially pick up new businesses, really help them to grow their audience and really promote Torbay and we do that without bias, so we don't pay. We're not paid to promote tweets or whatever. When you see us retweet, that's how we operate. However, it is a business and it does take up massive amounts of our time. So we decided that there was a gap. There hadn't been an event to bring together lots of all the different social media platforms to introduce people to them and show them what was available and give a little bit of training. Yeah. So what we did was. Last year we had our first one, and the idea is it's an introduction, like the Twitter one, for example. We want people to come along and if they're new to Twitter, by the end of that workshop, we want them getting online and going out, and using it. But we also talked about LinkedIn and Pinterest. We did one a little bit more advanced one on Google, on analytics for Google, Twitter, Facebook, and it was really, really successful. But to make it accessible to the people that really need it, a lot of times people don't see the value of social media until they've actually got involved. So investing and paying to go on a conference. So what we decided was we got involved last year with West Country Housing, but this year with the Shop Up, the High Street project. And so local businesses sponsored us. And we had £100 sponsorship package. And what that did was it paid for 3 delegates. And we for every £100 sponsorship, which essentially paid for the delegate place, the lunch, the covered costs, and for every £100 we went to the Shop Up project, and they had 3 places which they then gave away to people on their to start up businesses and small independent businesses. So we ended up with about at least 25, 30 places at the conference given. And also we ourselves, we gave to some voluntary organisations. So Home Start's just started up again here in the Bay. And so we had some charities.
Gets those,
well.
so it gets those people who maybe didn't want to quite put, what's the ticket price on it?
It was £40.
Yeah, they didn't quite want to put the £40 and they weren't quite sure whether to...
But it's not just £40 if you're a small business owner, because the likelihood is you've got to close your shop.
Off work.
Yeah, you've got to close your shop for the day, so you're either not earning or you're paying somebody else to run it.
Yeah.
So that £40 then turns into £100 plus.
It's surprising what once people have a go there, once they get involved, whether it be Twitter or Facebook or making videos, they get into it and they see the value of it afterwards. But from an outsider, you've never touched it before. Because I've obviously plenty of times had to have conversations with people why I think they should be using or interacting or creating content or be on a certain platform. I guess a lot of people are sometimes skeptical.
Yeah.
We already know the value of it. We don't need to convince ourselves, but I think once they get going, and so that's a really good way to get them along to a conference, show them maybe some case studies, get them involved. And if they leave by the end of the day, interacting with Torbay Hour, I think they'll start to use it a little bit more and see the value of it.
We just spoke offline earlier on, and it's so satisfying. And I always use that expression about the little fledglings, but it is all night long. We were picking up tweets from people that were using the hashtag #THConference16 or tagging Torbay Hour or Millie and Me, and it was just brilliant because we were able to pick them up all weekend, and then to see them come online on Monday at Torbay Hour.
See them come back the following week.
Really good.
Oh yeah.
But there's I picked on this one person, but it was all right because they're a friend of mine. They own a certain pub in Brixham, and they're not online and they're not on Twitter. And I know because whenever I go there and have dinner, I always tweet a lovely picture, and I know they're not on Twitter, so I'll just put hashtag who they are. And so there's all this stuff online about them, but really positive, but really, really positive. Yeah, really positive stuff, and they don't know. And so when I showed them, once we'd covered the search thing, and I said, I'm going to do something now. And I said, I'm going to search for an account. I'm going to search. And I put a hashtag and the name in. It's amazing because his face was like, because what he realised was that it was good because it was all this positive stuff, but he hadn't responded to it.
Yeah.
And he would never do, for him to have not acknowledged all of the really positive stuff that was
it would have been nice for him even. I know it's nice for the customer, it's nice for him to be able to respond to it as well. Yeah. I mean, it's the old saying that we used to say about, if you're not there, you're not in on the conversation, are you? The conversation's happening, you're just not involved. And it's good to be able to teach them how to get involved in that conversation because it can be, a little bit daunting from beginners.
Yeah. But I guess it's the message is that just because you're not on it doesn't mean people aren't talking about you online.
See what people are talking about. So that's the Torbay Hour social media conference. I think you've just had this year's, haven't you?
Yeah, so that was last day. It was in April.
Is it annually?
Yeah.
You'll have to wait a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Unless you see this video in like 9 months, then go looking for it and you can start buying tickets.
Oh yeah. But we've got the awards coming up.
Oh, let's talk about that. Awards. Torbay Hour Social Media Awards.
That's really exciting. That is something that we wanted to do, and we were running out of time because the awards kind of season, if you like, with the tourism awards and everything else, it starts from October onwards. And so about this time last year, we thought, let's just try it. And we put it out there, and we had over 250 nominations, which is like massive. So we had different categories. We had best Twitter account, kind of small business, a best corporate Twitter account, we had best Facebook page, all sorts of things, right up to Twitter King and Twitter Queen. But over 250, it's almost 300 in the end. And we made it quite easy to people. People could nominate themselves or they could nominate somebody else. And it was absolutely brilliant. And we had a ceremony at the Redcliffe Hotel in September. And it's all sparkly.
It's all good.
Yeah, so that's happening again. So we'll be starting to put out and asking for nominations probably in June. And then, closes in August with the award ceremony.
I'll have a go at this, I think. What should I go for?
So you were...
Should I go for it?
You really went up for it last year.
I put... no, we were just doing client work last week, so I came and helped pick up a client's award that they couldn't turn up.
Oh, yes, yes.
So I picked up on their behalf for them. It wasn't my award.
No, you need
I just I'm behind the scenes on that sort of stuff, I think. I just started launching the new website, so I'm going to start picking up the personal brand stuff again now.
The thing is,
videos like this.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not just about Twitter. That's the thing. It's social media awards. So we have best blog. It's across the board.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to go for best vlog. I've started a vlog. I'm going to go for best vlog. Yeah. Is that a category?
It could be.
I want it. Put it in there. I'm going to get that award.
You will if no one else anything.
Because I'm the only person doing it. Oh dear. So yeah, that's Torbay Social Media Hour Awards. What else have you got going on? You've got Brixfest going on.
Yeah. Brixfest is a...
I can't keep up with you.
No. Brixfest is a massive, massive thing in the life of our whole family, really. Brixfest is a 3-day family and heritage festival that started about 4 years ago. It used to be a week-long event, run really successfully for a lot of years, and the lady that ran it decided that she didn't really want to continue, and it was going to be such a loss to the town that at that time some local business people decided they'd take it over. And my Harry, then was a fresh-faced, I think, like 13, 14-year-old young volunteer at the Youth Inquiry Service, and he came on as a token young person, and that first year they realised that how competent he was, and he ran all the music and local music.
Brilliant.
And then that culminated to last year. He chaired last year, 2000.
Wow.
So he was at 17 through 18 years old. He chaired the whole festival.
That's serious responsibility for that age. Yeah,
he's amazing. And I know I'm biased, but really he
did
took
a great
it to
job.
another level. Yeah, he did. He really did. And so it's huge now. We're self-funding. I mean, the thing about, especially Brixham, we have so many festivals in the town now with the Pirate Festival, Fish Stock, Happening, Lifeboats, and they're all run by local people. And also, they're supported by local businesses, but local businesses can't pay, and festival can cost up to, £28,000-30,000 to put on a successful one. You can't expect the local community to support.
No, where's that money come from?
So we self-fund in that we have sponsorship
packages.
Yeah, so we have some amazing sponsors on board, and also we go for funding as well. So this year we're awaiting news on Big Lottery and Art Council funding. So
what about anybody who wanted to do this sort of thing? They wanted to set up an event or a festival. You've obviously sold sponsorship for Torbay Hour, both the award ceremony and the conference, and now selling sponsorship and packages for the festival. Any advice?
Do you have some boundaries there going on?
Is there any advice for somebody who wanted to do any of these things? Where do they start? Like, £28,000-30,000 to set up as some kind of festival is just crazy money for somebody else to find. But if they can do that in their community, how could they? What advice can you give them? Where do they start, and where would they look for sponsorship, and what value do they have to provide for somebody to want to give them the sponsorship money?
I think you have to start off modestly. I think you have to start off with, I think, they were a Nesta product. What I was saying about when Millie and Me started, because with Nesta they gave you an amount of money. I think it was you got given. It was almost like seed funding. So they gave you, I think it might have been £1,000, and then you had to kind of go run with the business in a year. So the first Brixfest were one of those projects. So they started with, I really can't remember, but say it was £1,000. And then they went around and asked for support, and some people gave donations. But I think that first festival probably was pulled off with maybe £3,000 or £4,000.
So start small, find a little bit of seed money from somewhere.
Absolutely, because you've got to then, when you go to sponsorship, people want to see what they can get for their money.
Yeah, this is the hard bit. It's kind of proof. It's kind of, you need to be able to say X amount of people are going to come to this event, or we've got this happening, so this is the result of your your investment in the sponsorship, and it's your first one you're getting started. That's quite hard to do.
Yeah, it is. And I think as well, businesses who sponsor, they want to see a return. It's the advertising, but actually most of the time what they're doing is investing in the local community, and they're what they want to show. So a return is one thing, and so they've got a marketing department, and that, but also most of them have got money to invest in the community, and actually if they can evidence that what their money has been spent in a really worthwhile way. So I mean, with Brixfest we try, and it's not just a commercial festival. It has to work for Brixham. We want to get people to come, but we have to look after the local businesses too. I mean, I know that there are some businesses in parts of Brixham that don't only not benefit from Brixfest or the Pirates or any, but actually they can be to their detriment, because everything is focused around the harbour. And so
then maybe up the other end of town or something.
So we try really hard to put events on around the town.
Okay.
The heritage one that we've got, the lot bid that we've got in at the moment, if we're successful in that will involve a heritage trail going all the way around Brixham, right up into Bolton Street, Middle Street, with a living history element to it on one of the days.
Okay.
To really try and draw people up through the town.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of the same here in Torquay. Where we sit now is like at the top end of town. Everything, all the main events happen right down on the harbour, which is, where the boats are, the nice area. And there's not a nice area up here, but it's a completely opposite end of town. So it's hard to run events up this way where the traffic is, etc. So it's good that you're thinking about the wider community and not just
because it's a double impact.
Tourist hotspot.
Locals tend to stay away from a town when there's a festival on because they anticipate it being really busy. So areas of the town that depend on local trade, that they often lose out because people are, oh, no, I'm not going down there because it's too busy. I won't be able to park. I won't be able to. So you have to
real things
to look after locals.
So some good advice. Find some seed funding.
Yeah.
Look after your locals. Go for the community angle and try and get some community investment in the project. Yeah. Brilliant. Anything else we need to talk about? Any other projects? Have we missed any?
Oh, I don't know. Do you hear about what's going on at Brixfest this year?
Go for it.
Oh, well,
happening?
This year we have got a brand new event for the Sunday, which we're really excited about. It's my baby, so that's why I'm really excited about it. Yeah, and we have the first ever Brixfest Dragon Boat Festival. Dragon Boat Festival. So the last time we had dragon boats in Brixham was about 15 years ago.
Right.
And so this year we've got a really good company coming, and the way we're running it is that teams that enter, they pay their minimum entry fee, just like you would for the Colour Rush or anywhere else.
Yeah.
But you can choose to raise money for your own club or charity or cause. Okay. So we've got about 10 teams signed up already. We've still got room for another 5 or 6. and basically it's just a brilliant day.
So what do they need to do?
So all they need to do is get in touch with me at Millie and Me or Torbay Hour, and we'll send out an entry form. It's 10 people together, I think. 9 people and a drummer. It's just 25 quid to enter, but then every penny can be we've got a couple of teams entered for Brixfest, and actually they're raising money for Brixfest, so it's win-win for us. But we've also got teams raising money for different charities throughout the bay.
We've
got a couple of sports clubs entering and raising money for themselves. Yes, I did it 15 years ago and it was fantastic. So I'll be in one of the boats this year too.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Maybe just
I'm going to be drumming. I'm not going to be throwing.
Oh, we'll have a look at that. Yeah. Let's have a look at previous things and see what people have done. I don't know if you'll get me in the boat. Might be good fun. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, it's been good talking to you. Thank you for joining me on the sofa.
Thank you.
Where can people get in touch with you if they need you for Torbay Hour, I guess?
Yeah, so it's you can get in touch with us at Torbay Hour through the website www.torbayhour.com, which is a brand new website, actually, I have to say.
New website?
Yeah, brand new. So if you think you've seen it, go back and check it out. Also, Twitter and Facebook. Millie and Me, you can get in touch with me, Facebook, Twitter. And Brixfest is www.brixfest.com. Do check that out. There's loads on there.
Cool.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Thanks for joining me. Nice to talk to you.
Thank you.
Bye.